How to spot a real Cliff May home before you buy. Is this a Cliff May home? That is, without exaggeration, the single most common question I get from buyers here in Southern California. And here's the problem. A lot of homes get labeled Cliff May in listings that are absolutely not. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to tell the difference so you don't get fooled and you can confidently identify the real thing. Because when it is a real Cliff May, it's something special. If you're drawn to architectural homes, especially mid-century modern, there's a good chance Cliff May is your entry point. He designed over 1,000 custom homes, but more importantly, over 15,000 prefab ranch homes were built. And these weren't cookie-cutter boxes. They were designed around indoor-outdoor living, courtyard spaces, human scale, simple materials, and light. You don't just walk into a Cliff May home, you open into it. That flow, that sense that the house wraps around you, it's intentional. And here's the thing. Not every home that feels like this is actually a Cliff May home. Cliff May homes were wildly popular in the mid-1950s. They were built primarily between 1953 and 1956, right in the middle of the post-war housing boom. Developers licensed his plans, builders replicated them, competitors copied the style. In fact, Cliff May is famous for establishing the legal precedent that architectural designs are intellectual property. So yes, there are copycats, and there are some great copycats. But if you know what to look for, the real ones become obvious. Let's start with the shape and size test. The vast majority of Cliff May ranch homes are 3 or 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and between 1,130 and 1,500 square feet. If the home is 2,200 square feet and someone is calling it a Cliff May, it probably isn't, unless there was a significant addition. Now, here's the big one, the L shape. Almost all Cliff May ranch homes form a floor plan that is in the shape of the L, and that L creates something magical, a courtyard. The living room and primary suite typically wrap around this private outdoor space. It's not backyard living, it's courtyard living. And if there's no L shape and no courtyard, that's your first red flag. Now let's talk about some of the exterior clues. Board and batten siding, usually redwood. A low-pitched roof, typically a 212 pitch, very subtle and shallow. The home hugs the ground. These are slab foundations, especially here in Southern California. And then the clear story windows at the gable ends, present in almost every design. Those upper windows under the roofline, that's them, and it's signature Cliff May. They bring in light without sacrificing privacy. If you see standard suburban roof pitches or vinyl siding, probably not a Cliff May home. Now here's the most important part. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. The doors and windows are the #1 way to identify a Cliff May ranch home. They are always wood, not vinyl, not aluminum. The early 1953 models actually had crank-out windows. By 1954, they had largely switched to sliders. And then the patio doors. They are about 5.5 feet wide, about 7 feet tall, 4 sections of glass, and the top panes are taller than the bottom ones, in roughly a 4:3 proportion. Once you see that proportion, you can't unsee it. This is the detail that copycats often miss. Cliff May built well over 15,000 of these homes. Many are here in Southern California. The largest concentration is in Long Beach, the Cliff May Ranchos, with over 700 homes. You'll also find neighborhoods in Anaheim, Garden Grove, Tustin, and even Vista down in San Diego. And then smaller one-off groupings too. But here's what I want you to hear. There are wonderful architectural homes out there that are not Cliff May homes. At the end of the day, the goal isn't the name. The goal is thoughtful design. I've owned a Cliff May home myself. I know these homes well, and I'd love to help you find the right one.